Hey guys, I want to take some time to talk about brows today. This is another area of makeup that before I started Younique, I really didn't do at all. Partially because I didn't know how. Other part because I didn't want to look dumb. I know everybody's intimidated by brows. You don't want to look like that person that draws their brows on completely or overdoes it. So I'm here to show you a couple of ways to do your brows, okay? First, I want to talk about shaping those brows. And what you're aiming for is I use actually a little eyebrow shaver. A lot of people aren't comfortable with that though, and that's just fine. You can also use tweezers or get your brows waxed. But the general guideline is you want your brow to start, if you connect your nose through the beginning of your eye and go up, that's where you want your brow to start, okay? Then the arch of your brow. What you want to do, and this is hard to do on camera, is you look straight ahead and you want to go off the tip of your nose, just past your pupil, and that's where your arch should ideally hit. Then lastly, you want your brow to end when you go off your nose, off the end of your eye, that's where your brow should end, okay? Right there. So try to shape your brow as best you can to those guidelines, or if you don't like those, do it however you want, okay? It's guidelines, not rules. So there are a couple different ways or brow products that we have. The first being our Brow Obsession palette. This is well loved. You can see that the name is kind of wearing off, and it's available in 3 different shades. There's a blonde one, there's a brunette one, which is what this is, and then there's a very dark one for people that have really dark hair or black. Okay, so you can choose between those 3 shades, and the colors are obviously, these colors are going to vary based on the shade that you choose. So I am going to do this using our Brow Artist brush, which I just found it, and show you guys how that's done on one brow, okay? I like to start with the number 1. Again, these are guidelines and not rules, so if you like a little bit of a bolder brow, you can start with 2. You can do it however you want. This is just how I do it. And I start with this angled end of the brush. This is very thin. This brush is amazing for doing your brows. And I start underneath, and I'm going to outline the general shape that I'm going for here. Okay. And then I'm going to go back in and do that on the top. Like this. And I'm basically outlining to just get an idea of what I want overall, okay? You'll notice I started in a little ways. There's a reason for that, so I'll show you that afterwards. Then I'm going to go back in and fill in the middle using the same color, the number 1. And if you have a hard time filling in an area, you can go backwards like this. Sometimes that helps to give a more natural appearance. Okay. Filling in, and then I'm going to drag color backwards from the beginning. This is another personal preference of mine, but naturally your eyebrows are a little lighter at the front, and color or fullness, they kind of ease to start. So that provides a little bit more of a natural start at the beginning look, okay? Once I have that filled in, I'm going to go back with this number 2, which is the darker color, still using that angled side. And I'm going to go back in for where I need a little more definition, in my opinion, which is my arch and the tail of my eyebrow. For me, those areas of my eyebrow don't grow in as full, so I like to do that there. You can also use our lash serum to help your eyebrows grow if you have a gap in your eyebrows. Fun fact. Then I'm going to go in with the flat side here. I need to clean mine. I have black in it from something else. Let me find my cleaner here. I don't want black. It's definitely not what I'm going for. Okay, clean out that brush real quick. All right, and then these colors right below are to highlight your brow. I personally prefer the pink, and what I do is I underline the brow again, following that shape, and then I drag the color down to make it look more natural. And this looks super pink on here, but as you can see when I put it on, it kind of blends in with my skin tone, at least for me. So this really makes your brow bone kind of pop. It's a product I wasn't really sure about till I used, and then I loved it. Like, look at the difference between this brow and this brow. To me, that's a crazy awesome difference. I'll use the kind of creamy pearl color on the top to just show you guys. And I'm going to define the top shape and spread that out a little bit. And overall, that's just going to clean up your brow look, okay? Then if you have unruly brows that don't like to stay put, you can use this wax, which helps keep your brows in place. Sorry guys, I cut off there. I don't know what's going on. We'll just use it, we'll continue on. So I'm just putting that brow wax on, and it's slightly tinted, but mostly it's just going to keep those brows right where you want them all day to give it a really super finished look.